Om Namah Shivaya. I am Professor rudramohapatra from Bhubaneswar, Odisha. I am an astrologer, and today let me say you something about astrological research. If you see now the research in astrology is the most required things, because still there are books in astrology which are confined to some tradition. Tradition means, suppose one tradition of astrologer from northern India, they have some kind of predictive methods which they have written, they have documented it, but which is not into the limelight. So that is one reason. And the second reason uh, behind this is Hindu astrology does not permit, yes, Hindu astrology does not permit one kind of self scientific research. I will elaborate. Whatever I am saying, I will elaborate. Um, so, what does research means? Those of you who have done PhDs, they must know it that for research, you need to form one research question, and the outcome of the research you can go for in the form of forming hypothesis. So it is null hypothesis, alternative hypothesis. Then you design the tools for data collection. Then you analyze the data, and then you reach the conclusion. Then also, to some extent, if it is kind of applied or action research, then you go for recommendations too. So now coming to astrology. Suppose one question erupts in my mind, that how can the karmic connection between the parents and the children can be seen from either of the chart. Okay, so suppose why you are the father to that child, why you are the mother to that child. So can it be seen from the chart, and what is the intensity? Suppose yes, we can say that your ninth lord is strong, so your ninth house is strong, so your father is a good person, it is a good connection, the son is well posited, it can be said. But what is the intensity? When you say that from the horoscope, even if we can we take that research to one step ahead by saying that yes, if this is not your mother, this your mother would have been of these qualities. Okay, by looking at the native chart. But the other thing can be said by looking at the Saptamsa chart of the parents, to some extent, that the nature of the child that going to be born. So that can be said. But now I am saying, suppose this kind of things. Now the astrologer will go on looking into horoscope and try asking the visitors, and from that he found that if this is the connection, like in the ninth house, some CPPL is known as central planet for past life is posited, or sun is with the CPPL, then it is happening. But unfortunately, this is the wrong form of research. Okay, in our Vedic astrology or Hindu astrology, precisely I will say, because Vedic astrology is mostly into astronomy, and to many extent it is electional astrology. Like this day, this time, Venus you can see at this direction, and you perform this puja. So that kind of things are written in the Vedanga Jyotisha. The Vedanga Jyotisha is a development around more than 2000 years after the Vedas itself. Suppose you date the Vedas roughly to the 5000 BC, so it is 2000, sorry, 3000 BC, Vedanga Jyotish developed. So then later on, the predictive other astrology, we say the Hindu astrology, that developed. So I'll say rather Hindu astrology instead of Vedic astrology. In our Hindu astrology, the research is done in this fashion. Suppose I see after the birth of a child, both the parents died. First thing I have to do is to look into the horoscope of the child and find some clue. If I find some clue, like the birth in Gandanta or severe Gandanta is there, or some very odd dasa was going on, and also you can see the parents' horoscope to see their longevity. But however, she. So once you get that horoscope verified, you try to find that planetary combinations and their prescribed outcomes in the classics. I am repeating, you try to find out the planetary combinations and their uh, prescribed outcomes written in the classics. If those planetary combinations you fail to find in classics, now you are not entitled to go for further research where is the limitation of Hindu astrology. However, I must say Western astrology, which is basically Hellenistic or Babylonian astrology, and the institute for that is ISAR, International Society for Astrological Research. They are conducting very scientific research. If time permits, I will also able to say something about them, but in our case, it is this. If classics, these things are not mentioned, then nobody has any right to prescribe those kind of things out of his or own experience. हमने देखा है, हमने नहीं देखा है. It is like that. You have seen in the horoscopes, but others have not seen it. And what is the sample? Suppose you have seen the same things in 50 horoscopes in your lifetime. But are those 50 horoscopes, those planetary combinations which you are going to propagate, are enough to satisfy the sampling selection? Okay, so no. So Hindu astrology, the research should always be backed by classics. That is why there are journals like Modern Astrology, which is a successor to the astrological magazine. It is out from Bengaluru. The editor is Gayatri Dev Vasudev, where I am also a contributor. If you read the research article there, you can easily find that whatever the authors are saying, they are mentioning the classical references to that. If classical references are not there, then that research is not being recognized. Well, in Bharatiya Vidyahavan, under the guidance of K.N. Rao, people has done commendable research, like successful marriages in Jupiter in Simha. So they have taken some horoscope and seen that here, even if Jupiter in the Simha, which is known as anti-marriage yoga, they are successful. Well, those things you can say, ongoing researchers, but till then, I mean, they have given horoscopes where certain exceptions are found. So, but we cannot generalize the things in that fashion by not by avoiding or going away from the classics. You have to find the subtlest clues that is written in the classics. Then only the integrity of the subject will be there. Or else Suppose you will do your own research, I will do my own research, then tomorrow somebody may come up and say, Mars is for father, or it is written Mars is for brother. Somebody will say. So that is not the way of research in Hindu astrology. Hindu astrology research is basically, if you similarly those who are doing the PhDs, there is a section on a secondary literature review. That means you have to read a lot of books and find out what is written about your research question. So it is all about secondary literature review. Okay, so I cannot say these are the planetary combinations for whom, for them who will die in COVID-19. No. Even if I am saying that, I have to say that no, Rahu is for virus. So Mercury is the signification of chest. So Mercury Rahu combinations backed by this kind of dasa, which is malefic for that native. I have to see the longevity too. Then we can go for the see the transit. We can use that tool like Kota Chakra, where it is basically used for looking at health. Then only you conclude. You have taken some information from the classics, then you move away. So research is not possible of your own. So that's why, which I even see in among the astrologers, and when I visit to conferences, it is not the right method of research in Hindu astrology. You read the scriptures, what scriptures are saying, we have to follow that. Little bit, very minutest development you can do. But unlike us, Western astrologers, they do for complete scientific study. So I remember, so one lady, Alex Teneworth, she has conducted one study on education. He has taken sample from China and from US, like Eastern world and Western world. And he is, sorry, she has done the statistical analysis. Then she is saying that it is not only Mercury, Moon has also some signification. This research paper, when she was presenting, and I was a member to ISA, I was there. It was a bilingual presentation. So, and it was a very significant study because statistical test is done the test of significance. So it was around the success was 90, more than 95. So, so this kind of studies are permitted there because they don't have this kind of scriptures. They develop the astrology like reading into single one or two statements are there. The astrology was more was mostly into occult kind of thing. If you go for Mayan astrology or Aztec astrology, precisely I'm talking of the Latin America. So so also the Babylonian or the know, Middle East astrology, mostly occult. So further research necessary. But in our case, it is highly documented. Well, I cannot give you any scientific figure or any statistics, but almost I'm completely sure it is our astrology. Hindu astrology is the only astrology across the globe which has got the maximum scriptures. Say it astrology, say it the Puranas. As Guru Barken Rao always say that 60-70% of the astrology is in the Puranas or the scriptures. So we have to read that. But the prime uh, reference or recommendations are the astrological scripture. So the conclusion for today is those who have are saying that when doing research and astrological research organization, so these astrologers uh, do not do by your own, or else you will end up in such a bad blunder that your conclusion will be negated in the practice and also in theory. Okay, so that's for all. That's all for today. You know that I never come prepared for this video making. I just one topic that come to my mind, and I just open the mobile and get it recorded. So pardon me if there are some mistake in the flow of language or flow of the saying. The purpose here is to communicate the message I want to, and that is the main purpose of this via media or communication or language, whatever, to express the feelings. So we will meet with another video soon. I try to upload videos almost regularly on my website, and some of you, those who are finding my videos uh, to some extent informative and rational, they can share it. Even some of you want to discuss with me, they can request me one live session. We can make one live session on YouTube, then we can discuss. But I always invite serious astrologers, those who are into Jyotisha for very serious research, reading, writing kind of thing, not just only consultation for 20 years, 30 years, not having adequate theoretical input. I don't allow normally. But till then, if you want, that can also be done. If you want some topic where I should share my views or share my astrological knowledge, please let me know via the comment section. And finally, if you also, some of you, those who are not astrologers, only astro enthusiasts, want to learn from me, they can also request. We can go for live classes, paid or unpaid, that we have to decide. For consultation, also you can WhatsApp me on the number, on my personal number 94 385 67410. But let me again say you, the purpose of making these videos is never been for personal marketing, rather to share the knowledge I have. Many of my students and colleagues, they are requesting me to do the same. So that's whatever you know, at least other can listen to you. Even I come live in one astrological portal regularly. I find also that is not an adequate platform. So once something recorded is there, so anybody has access to that anytime. So I wish by your help, my purpose may be fulfilled to some extent. Uh, and that's all for today. We will meet with some new video soon. So God bless you. Shivaya Namah.